This is Pepper's Echo. My name's Andre, and you are watching the live Echo. Thank you very much for joining us live. If you're watching live with us, if you're watching in the rerun, thank you very, very much for watching on the rerun. Yeah, just an ordinary man in the street, from the outside looking in, not massively researched. I don't want to say I'm stupid. I don't believe I'm a stupid person. But we're trying to just take a look at things from the ordinary man in the street, from the outside looking in, going, what the fudge is happening? Or taking a look at interesting things, grazing across a couple of interesting facts. So welcome, and if there are any interesting facts, let me get through here quickly. Don't forget to do the like and subscribe thing for me, please. It's the only way that I do get the echo out here. And if you do have anything interesting that you would like to have discussed, doesn't have to be political, doesn't have to be South African, doesn't have to be Cambodian, can be anything, can be an interest, can be a topic, can be a subject. If you'd like us to discuss it, please send me a mail about it on Pepper's Echo, PEPRSECHO @gmail.com. Yeah, no double P, no E. It is meant to be as such, like that. And then, if you'd like to come on to the show, there's a good couple of people I'd love to have on the show. And I don't need to have the elite on the show. I just need ordinary people like you and I on the show to be able to discuss things. And I really had a wonderful time the other day, and she wasn't even on the show. I think it was Lynn. Thank you very, very much for all your chatting and that the other day. That sort of like really kept the show going. And I'd like to see a lot more people live on the show, being able to discuss and just chat things. We all have opinions. Sometimes we can stir them up a little bit the wrong way around. But yeah, what can I say? There are opinions and they create questions. As usual, I always suggest that, you know what, we sometimes scratch the surface here. If you're wanting to go and find a true to the word good information and deeds who dig a little bit deeper and bring you absolutely phenomenal information, definitely Ronaldo Host. Check out his channel, Ronaldo Host. Chris Wyatt in Daba Africa, definitely Chris Wyatt. And then better than your daily news bulletin is Morning Shot by Ramon Cabernac, most definitely so. Always got his ear on the ground, and fairly decent little bit of information would be old Joe Emilio. The Joe Show, I don't know, but it just, if it's still called the Joe Show, it's back to just Joe Emilio. And then somebody who always has a couple of interesting people that he is speaking to is Germ Warfare. Take a look at Germ. So yes, those are a couple of people that you would possibly like to go and visit. And definitely I'd say subscribe. I actually just want to find another one quickly. There is, if I can just swap my account over, if you give me the time. Sorry about this. There is definitely one that I also would like you to take a look at. I've given you Morning Shot, Buzzy's Moments. The ex-Rhodesian will never die. It is really a lovely, uplifting time that is actually had. And, wow, what a lovely person as well. So, you know what? I do suggest, and I will try and put all of those into my comments below as well. But yeah, go and take a look at Buzzy's Moments. I can actually share this with you while I'm about it. I just feel like sharing the screen, so let me give you a share. Bring that in there. There we go. Buzzy's Moments. Very, very nice. Very uplifting. Fun. Good quality. And what a lovely person as well. So yes, go and subscribe to Buzzy's Moments as well. Now, back to where we were looking today. What are we looking at? I have nothing prepared. I am dreadfully sorry, first of all. I need to apologize profusely for last week. I was just really, really ill, and I'm actually sort of just getting right from it as well. I've had a bit of a bad time. I do not have COVID, no. I am very fortunate that I do not have, but it has been a bad flu, a headache. I have been able to taste every bit of nasal drip that I have, so I don't believe it is COVID at all. I still have a lot of pain in my neck and my shoulders, but no, I haven't had to go to hospital. I haven't been secluded. What I have been doing is going to school because my teachers are not at school. The principal still needs to go, the primary principals and the secondary and kindergarten and the directors and that all still need to go to school. So although my wife is at home teaching and all my teachers are teaching at home, I have had to still go to school. Wow. So it has been a long, hard, tedious week as well. But however, what I can say is I am very, very fortunate that I have a week's leave. And I intend to, straight after this show, go and hibernate immediately. Or maybe I should actually try and do a surprise live somewhere along the week. Just, you know what, the problem is we can't get into town. We are actually under pretty much a lockdown situation. Let me see if I've got anything on the Cambodian news state here. And I can tell you, Cambodia is not massively, I don't want to say from what I can see that it's a problem already, but it is a concern. Let's put them in there. Bam. There we go. So Cambodians' current totals, we've already had 1,420 deaths. Active cases seem to be 5,733, which is down 110, which is, you know what, I think we'd been up to about 10 or 12,000 active cases already. So I'm pretty much not sure why we are actually having such harsh situations, or I can say I'm more sure because there's a Delta version of it out, yeah? Of the cases that we have had, 10,802 were imported, 67,000 were of the community. We've had this like wonderful rush of recoveries, and that's one thing that I question so much is, you know, if you get COVID, and by all means, you know what, I know there's people who said, oh, well, I have had COVID and I'm fine now, and like 2 weeks later, if you get COVID, you don't just recover within a week or two and like, oh, no, I had it, I'm fine, I'm over it, like a bad cold. No. I don't believe that you weren't diagnosed as COVID, but I do believe that they've diagnosed a respiratory or a very bad flu or pneumonia type of situation as COVID, which has a similar symptoms. Sorry, it's the word I'm looking for. But I don't by no means say that you have not been diagnosed as such. I just believe that it is not COVID and that it is something else that you have been diagnosed as COVID. Because when you have been diagnosed as COVID, I don't believe that you are able to recover within a week or two. I do believe that you can recover, but I do believe that it takes a lot longer to recover from COVID than a week or two. I do believe people do suffer a lot. I think what I can find from people who have COVID and have recovered or are recovering is that it's taken a few months of absolute breathlessness and having to get energy back and actually moving it back in again. And they've been on the point of fear for their life at one stage. A friend of mine who'd been into hospital just lately had said, and not here, actually in South Africa, said, you know what, it was amazing. He had walked over, he's got COVID and he's been in hospital for a week or two, and he's eventually been sent home to recover. But it's not like, oh, you know what, I had it last week, I'm feeling much better this week. He can't move hardly. When he does, it's with great difficulty without having air or somewhere to breathe, etc., etc. It's phenomenally difficult, and of course, the time in hospital has been an exceptionally traumatic and fearful time as such, due to, you're fighting for your life. And he was telling me how he took a cool drink to the person across the hall from him, who was also in bed with COVID. And that afternoon, they threw a sheet over that person. So I don't know if the cool drink was bad. No, I'm kidding. So obviously not. But it just goes to show how quickly it goes and takes you down. But so, you know what, by no means am I saying, oh, well, you know what, it's not, you haven't been diagnosed with COVID. I do believe that it is definitely not a strong COVID form. It was maybe a light COVID form, or definitely more a respiratory flu. I nearly said emphysema. Anyway, respiratory disease. I forget the words that I look for. I carry them around my head so badly that I don't want to forget them. And then when I do actually need them, it's not there. My head's actually sore from carrying around words that I can't remember anymore. So I do apologize. But anyway, let's get back to Cambodia. So Cambodia, we have done well with the rollout. But if you just take a look at what's happening around here at the moment, is the PM makes a major speech on Cambodia's current and future COVID situation and strategy. We can take a look at that in a moment. Cambodians to receive AstraZeneca as a third dose as a booster. So I know people have been looking at the fact that the first 2 shots that you've had would maybe be fine for now, but you would need to take a third dose. We've taken, not chosen to, but we were given the Sinovac, and the AstraZeneca is from, I think, the States. I do believe Johnson & Johnson has come in as well. I'm not too sure if we'd be able to get them privately, but we would have to pay for them as such too. But yeah, it seems like they are looking at a third shot for a booster, but they're just needing to figure out how long to go before you can actually get your booster, your third shot. This next part of the year is over 250 imported cases and 22 deaths today, show that despite drastic measures, excuse me, and despite the drastic measures, Cambodia still has a long way to go in its fight against COVID-19. And sadly, the dreaded Delta strain is raising its head here. Once again, we've had curfews and that put into place within the last 2 evenings. And the curfews, I think, have been pretty fair from 9 o'clock at night until 3 o'clock in the morning. Sadly, the restaurants and that have been closed totally to sit in. And I think from yesterday or last night, alcohol was stopped from being able to sell. But there you can see 257 curfew violators were detained in a single Phnom Penh district last night. So, you know what, until people start taking these things seriously, it is seriously going to affect them. Let's try and click it on this one rather. So yeah, there he took a look at his speech, and he's made a major speech at the opening ceremony of the COVID-19 vaccination campaign for children, because they've decided to have young children from ages to 12 years to 70 years old vaccinated. I can just see old Ramkat shitting himself over here. But yeah, I'd like to see what that cut does when his child gets infected with COVID, and wondering if he could have done more about it. Just a thought. In his 4-hour-long speech, he made many points about Cambodia's current and future COVID situation and strategy, including important statement on a third booster dosage, strategies to combat the Delta variant, and the reopening of schools, and many other topics. Because as you are aware, our schools have probably, for most of the year, I think they were open for January a little bit, and that was it. We have been without schools. The PM confirmed that AstraZeneca will be used as the boosting dose for those injected with the Sinopharm or Sinovac vaccine, while those with AstraZeneca, they would receive the Sinopharm or Sinovac for the third dose. He ordered to buy more AstraZeneca vaccine to prepare the third dose for the people. So there we go. Those who've had the Sinopharm or Sinovac will be getting AstraZeneca, and those who had AstraZeneca will be getting the Sinopharm or Sinovac for the third booster. The PM says starting vaccination of children today is an important step for building immunity in the Cambodian community. And yes, I think it's going to bring kids back to school, and I think it's going to be bringing them back to school more protected than what we would have had in the first place. Cambodia, I think, has been probably one of the most successful countries in the current situation that they are in rolling out their vaccination process. The PM reaffirmed that today we are proud to be able to do one thing that other countries have not yet done, and that's vaccinate children and youth between the ages of 12 and 17. And everyone will go like, why are you doing that? Well, you know what? Measles, you get vaccinated for. You get vaccinated for whooping cough. You get vaccinated for mumps. You get, you know what? As a child, it's just to make sure that the amounts are correct. It's like my little pups, and I haven't brought them to you yet. I'll show you next week what the new little paparazzis look like. They have done some growing, but it's getting the right amounts and the right quantities for a smaller person to be vaccinated with that as well. The PM said that the issue of vaccinating children under 12 years old is that we have to wait and see the World Health Organization and other countries first. But my goal is vaccine children between ages of 10 and 11 to reach 13 million population. Okay, so we are pushing. So I must say that Cambodia as such has probably been one of the most successful countries, if I look at the hash South Africa's made of it, to get their vaccinations rolled out. I don't think many people, I think a lot of people in South Africa have helped to make it successful, but I do believe that those entitled ones have once again made a big hash of it and also helped the incompetent government to steer this vaccination process in South Africa into a total, pardon my French, shit show. So the PM expected that once the vaccine is covered, that will enable the tourist tour open at any time. Naturally, because Cambodia is extremely reliant on tourism, and that is why they are pushing so strongly to get our country clear and safe. He announced that no time limit for him stopping as Prime Minister. The PM said Chinese vaccines is easy to store because it requires only 2 degrees below zero. I don't want to go through the whole lot there. Cambodia has sufficient human resources for vaccination process with military doctors and subnational authorities working responsibility. He says that the Chinese vaccines, no matter what anyone says, but China has already given 1.5 million doses to its people, and Chinese vaccines have sent about 200 to 300 million doses of foreign aid. The PM, this reads to where it says that the Prime Minister mocked the leader of the opposing group who incited the vaccine issue to see the movement of people to receive the current vaccine, which is more than 7 million. Yeah, I'm not going to rush through this too much at all. A couple of other little surprises and things, but yes, as you can see, we're still working on it. I think today they did receive a Thai casino workers detained for illegally crossing border. There we go. There's our photo that I wanted. That's the first little girl. Or not the first, but one of the first children who received their vaccinations between 12 and 17 years old today. There's her card as such. Stalwart snapper Sokunthia Chaw was on hand to record. Okay, that's just the photographer. That's not her name, the girl's name. Seen as youngsters from 12 to 17 were amongst the first teenagers to receive vaccines in Cambodia at the Tulkla Health Clinic in Kan Sen Sok. Here we go. Some more pictures of the youngsters. Yeah, quite a good couple of cues, but I must say, once again, I take my hat off to Cambodia. I think they've possibly not got the most fancy resources, but they have made a point of getting the resources and making sure that their people and the foreigners as well in this country have access to and are vaccinated. And I think that is the saving grace when it comes to this Delta variant, because this Delta variant is a pretty savage variant as such. There we go. A whole lot of pictures of the children 12 to 17 getting their first COVID vaccinations. I think South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, is going to make a rule for next year that the grade ones may only come into grade one once they are vaccinated. It'll be a rule only for grade ones, but grade one may only go to school or may join school once it has been vaccinated. Whether it's a good thing or not a good thing, yeah, it's up in the air. It would have to be for the school body or school board to have a parental meeting on that, I'd say. There's just a whole lot of pictures of the age 12 to 17 children here in Cambodia. Oh, I feel the same way, lady. I feel your pain. I don't like that either. Okay. There we go. I wanted to bring one more thing in. That is, yeah, guess what's happening next month in South Africa? Neem kennis, die aansienlike verhoging van brandstofpryse geld van Woensdag net na middernag Dinsdag. So the fuel price increase of fuel prices on Wednesday. So that means at 12 o'clock on Tuesday night, guys. So if it does help, fill your car. I don't know what people really do. And they're like, oh, well, you know, you've got to do some... fill up, maybe it'll give you another week's money or something to that effect, of a little bit less. But can you believe it? Can you believe it? And I can believe it, because it's probably after all of this looting and flippin' ridiculousness that they're needing to now cram back money. And petrol is going up by 91 cents a litre. Diesel is going up by 55.58 cents a litre. Diesel, 0.005% sulfate, 54. So let's say an average of 55 cents a litre. Paraffin going up by 50 cents a litre. Now, this is what the poor of the poor used to cook with. This is what a country is doing to their poor people. This is what they're doing to their helpless. This is what they're doing to the uneducated, to the people that have a desperate need. They cook on paraffin. Gas going up 67 cents a litre. Gas and paraffin are used as a lifeline, never mind just a transport line, because fuel goes up, food goes up. Food goes up, expenses go up. Well, not only food, anything that needs to be transported. Expenses goes up, overheads go up. Overheads go up. I can't afford to pay all my workers. I can't afford to pay my workers. I need to decrease my workforce. So my workforce loses. So I don't have money. So I'm lost my job. So I go back in a country that has 50% plus unemployment rate. I now become another statistic of the ANC's failed economy and government. But so we shall run a country, and so we shall allow our country to be looted, and so we shall allow these maniacs to grab and run with whatever they wanted to, and so we shall allow the police to be incompetent, and so we shall allow the military to be incompetent, and we will run around shooting a rubber bullet here or there. They should freaking gattle the crap out of them. Those guys must be walking around with blue marks that remind them that rubber bullets hit them for days afterwards. Why the hell are they busy doing it? Hello, Lynn. I was just talking about you a little bit earlier on. There we go. Hi there. Good to see you. There we go. That's Buzzy from Buzzy's Moments that I spoke about earlier on, that I showed you the screenshot. You need to go and see. But yes, we're going up. See what it says. Johannesburg, the energy department has announced that fuel prices are going up in the month of August. That's now, this week, Wednesday. Statement department said, yeah, I've already quoted you the values. 91 cents for fuel grades, for petrol grades, 54 and 55 cents for diesel. Paraffin, which is a lifeline. Don't worry. It's all fine. I've really been so unprepared for this one today. I'm still sort of clogging up. That's why I'm sounding like some kind of the screenshot. The screenshot was just of your page. I'll show you again. It's because I haven't had a link to share. I'll share the link now again, and then I'll show the screenshot again. It was just a screenshot of your Buzzy's Moments page. But yeah, so take a look at the department. Said the new prices will kick at the stroke of midnight Wednesday. Well, one says Tuesday and the one says Wednesday, so just be prepared. And earlier this month, IAA warned against it would bring with it news of fuel price increase. The association predicted a significant rise in the petrol price. At the time, the AA said the daily rand to US dollar exchange rate had spiked, as well as international oil prices. I don't think it spiked to justify that. I don't think it spiked. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Yeah, it's the ridiculous, the cost of living here. Sadly, yes. I've just said, you know what? The minute fuel goes up, food goes up. Anything that needs to be transported goes up. That means overheads go up. That means we can't afford to pay everything, which means we can't afford to keep the workforce that we have, which means we need to decrease our workforce, which means we need to lay off people, which means we have people that are going to become a statistic of the 50+ unemployment rate, and then start over and then increase more so that they can't keep their head above water. It is a vicious, vile circle that is going up there, unfortunately. The AA forecasted, based on mid-month data indicators, petrol is set for an increase of 87 cents, and there you saw we got a 91. Diesel 58, 54, and 55 it was. Paraffin 56. You see paraffin is at 60. It's a tiny little shit show, if I can put it that way. Let me just take this one away. Yeah. Drop that. This is the one that I shared. I didn't share, just encouraged everyone to pop over to Buzzy's Moments to be able to go and enjoy. And I can actually copy that and put it into the chat there. Oh, no. I would make a mess of it, would I? There we go. And then I can put it in there. That's one that I showed earlier on there. Okay. And then lastly, I am not going to have a long one today because, as I said, I'm still sort of like blocked to the top. But you know what? With all the crap news that's going on, I mean, I'm taking a look at Zuma supporters incited anarchy. WhatsApp message reveal. I got the price over there. Tokyo Olympics essays wait for Nikkei cruisers to book spot in the 400 meters. SA receives 2.8 million Pfizer. I hope the guys get the opportunity to be able to be vaccinated now. And I hope we actually get to see straight, because you know what, I think there's too many people. While I'm on that as well, Linda, I know you had the you sent a message and somebody in your family has passed, and my condolences to you there. I actually take a look, goosebumps when I talk about that. You're definitely one of our, well, you're my greatest and most favoritist and fantasticest supporter. You've been with Pepper's Echo since it's still been just an echo. You've been there. So yeah, I think Linda also went buzzy. She's subscribed to you as well. What do you got there? Thank you. Good thing you're out of it. Yeah. Finally got my bucky. 11 months standing back. Now I have to fix exhaust and shocks. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. That's my whole point. It doesn't end. It's a vicious circle. It's a vicious circle. I thought I would end today on a bit of a more happier note. First of all, I want to know from guys who are watching, or people who are watching, or anything like that, is there a better time that I can do this? Better time, I mean a different day. If you're working South African times, always add 5 hours on. So if you tell me 8 o'clock at night, I can't do it at 8 o'clock at night, because Ronaldo will go into a very bad mood and I won't get to see anybody anyway, because he's at 8 o'clock at night. And next is I am 5 hours ahead of you. So remember, if you say like 7 then at night, then I've got 12 o'clock at night to do. So that's why I have to do it at 2 o'clock on a Sunday in South Africa, because I do it at 7 o'clock at night on a Sunday night in Cambodia. So I try and do that. Should I rather try and just record them than try and do them live? Although I do enjoy lives. But give me some advice there, please, because I don't want to run them too long, and I also don't want to drag for people. Let's take a look. What do you say? My 85-year-old mother survived 2 jabs. Yeah. Asked how she felt. Her reply was, bloody well. Oh, you have a brilliant mother. My mom turns 86 this year as well, by the way. She's just gone into frail care, NPE as well, and she's also just had both her jabs as well. So good on your mom. Well done. This is for all moms who've lived through everything when they're in their 80s. My mom turns in August, September, October, November. 3 months. I think it's 86. What if you... I've got to actually work this out. I don't know how old my mom is. It's terrible, but yeah. 2021 minus 1933. 88, sorry. Is that possible? Anyway, it's above 85 mark. My mom is as well. And yeah, wow. She's done that. Let's say maybe at 5:30 p.m. here on Saturday, 10 p.m. your time. I could try that out as well. So I'm around on Saturday. I just always thought maybe people were out finding. Mind you can't hit the pubs with the curfews and the lockdowns these days. So maybe when you come back for curfew, we can have a chat on Saturday night. I must also just check out Chris and them's streams and that, so that I don't cross over theirs as well. Yeah, from good stock. Yeah. Good stuff on that. Wanting to share here as well quickly. I wanted to finish with a good note, and that is Tatiana Schoenmaker from South Africa, who took gold in the ladies 200. Shame. Thank you very much. You are an absolute star. Thanks so much, Lynn. Buzzy, share the link so that I can market you. Yeah, definitely, and I'll definitely do my best to keep you marketed as well. My one other follower, Linda, has subscribed with you as well. So, and she's a wonderful person. I absolutely, you know what? I would take 1, 2, 3 of you like that, of the best, than what I would take 1 million of the worst of the rest. So you know what? It doesn't matter how little I have, it's of the best. So just a thing that came on News 24, it said, why the old primary school values. We will see Tatiana handle newfound fame with a plume, I think it is. And yes, it is for subscribers. And yes, I do subscribe to News 24. You know, everyone like, I refuse to pay that. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, I do pay that because I do use it to get to my news. But I must show you something else. I don't want to pull that one away. But what I do use my News 24 on is I go to magazines. And for my monthly, I think it is $7, $5 or $6. I think it's 75 or 79 Rand in South Africa. I go to my e-editions, and now I'd like News 24 to actually give me some kickback on this. We get magazines. The U Magazine, the True Love, the Fair Lady, the Finance Week, the Go, the Drive, and the Home e-edition magazine. And I'll show you, it's actually quite nice. I really actually enjoy sitting in Cambodia and picking up my U Magazine every week. There we go. And there's my U Magazine. I get to read it. And yes, you can zoom in. So yeah, you get everything that is in the U Magazine as well with your subscription to you. And I like the Finance Week. So yes, you know, people say, well, wow, you know, it's false news, it's this, it's that, and the U is the South African Housewives High Encyclopedia. Yeah, you know what? I read it for a bit of fun as well, and sometimes I get some good stuff out of it. But what I wanted to finish off with, Tatiana, well done. We'd like to wish her absolutely a huge congratulations. She hit gold and a new world record with the 200-meter breaststroke. I think she did the 100-meter breaststroke and came like fourth or something to that effect. And then she went and did the 200-meter. And she smashed the world record on Friday to make a new world record. I'm not too sure what that time is, but I would like to show you the video here. And this is not my property. I think
Tatiana Schoenmaker is the biggest talking point in South Africa this week following her wonderful exploits at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
Earlier this week, she claimed not only silver in a 100-meter breaststroke final, but also broke a world record in claiming a wonderful gold in the 200-meter breaststroke. But her road to sporting stardom started all those years ago, back at Laerskool Fairland in Johannesburg.
Here we go. You want to see where she grew up?
Yeah, from our side, it's a wonderful feeling. You know what? It's just an amazing experience, I think, for Tatiana and for the school. It's just wonderful for us to see her achieving that, the gold medal in the 200 meters, also breaking the world record. That's wonderful. So this is our yearbook, and this is actually where it started for Tatiana. She participated in the swimming, and here's a photo of her that was part of a swimming team. Here you can see Tatiana playing hockey for the under-13-8 team in grade 7. So yeah, she was really...
And I understand you coached her as well, or saw her at least play.
Yeah, well, I saw her play hockey. Actually, my wife coached her that year. Here you can see Tatiana was a very successful netball player as well, here in the photo. So yeah, she tried out everything at primary school. She was a guest of honor at our prize giving last year. And what we discussed previously, she actually said that to the kids, to try everything out. And the achievement of the sport is not necessarily the important thing, but to just try everything out and see what you like. And she's also very conscientious. And she was very dedicated here. You know, in general from school, she was very humble. She was friendly and also a hardworking kid. You know, she was dedicated. I can remember from the hockey practices her mum come and fetch her to go to the swimming lessons. So she was very dedicated from primary school days.
Okay. That's that one. And then there was another one which I wanted to show you, and then I'll leave you alone. But yeah, love the chicken. Yes. Yeah, they're awesome. She is, and this is why I just, sometimes want to show something good as well. This is when she was coming back. This guy obviously was took a video of her when she came home, Team South Africa's Olympic Village. And yeah, you can see she's just, as Lynn said, just a humble person. She's coming back and okay. Yeah, I thought I'd finish it there. Yeah, she got a huge hug and warm. The clip you shared on all the platforms. I must get back to your one as well. I'm a little late. As I said, I am on leave. I'm really happily on leave. But I'm going to finish with that. But that brings a little hope to me. When you see that there are still values, when you see that there are still people that can lead in value, when there's people that can appreciate each other, and you can see a little bit of camaraderie going forward like that with no prejudice, it does give me hope for South Africa. And as it said, the principal had said, and I've read through here, and I want to read the whole thing through to you as well. Otherwise, there'll be no reason for you to subscribe to News 24. No, I'm kidding. But she was taught to be part of everything, to become a part of everything. It is important. Winning is a result of being part of something that you find you love. And I think winning our country back is to be part of something we love. And if we look at things like this, there definitely remains hope that we will not go down. Although I'm very negative on days, and I get so angry at times. But sometimes I just like to finish us on a bit of a good note. I mean, the Springboks beat the the Ritz and Tatiana's got gold. And no, there's nothing like that. There we go. There's it. We are doing the same with my 8-year. I think it's the best you can do. Don't teach them. I just want to bring something into it before I go off. Don't teach them that losing's okay. Because I think I had a bit of a teaching to that, and that was wrong. Teach them to win. You fight to win. Winning is good, but be a part of everything. But just because you're a part of it doesn't mean you need to lose it. When you lose gracefully, but don't go to accept loss. I'm not saying beat the person up or whatever, but you go to win and find yourself. I think that was very wise of their parents, and she seems to be a very, very humble person. And I think you're doing great with your little granddaughter like that as well, then being brought up. And that's why I say these are the things that actually do just give me a little bit of hope. And when I glimpse through South Africa, and I think that it's only the elite few that are causing this ruction, the entitled, the hooligan, the terrorist, the dumbass. But the majority are still poor and uneducated. And if we can just get them to believe in each other, or maybe just believe in themselves a little, we might get that little bit further. I might get to retire in South Africa one day. Until that day, I do not see myself going back. Whereas your granddaughter started netball and soccer. That is fantastic. That is so fantastic, because you know what? Something I was looking at today as well, and I was actually looking at a Michael Mack video clip as well, where kids, you know what? Somebody's got to watch the kids today. Is the iPads charged? Are the iPads charged up? Where's the phone? Is the children got the phone? It's dump them in front of the TV time. Playing sport. I know that a country is dangerous to have your child running around, but make the time. Find the people to get them to where they have these opportunities. It's wonderful, Lynn. I think it's absolutely phenomenal what you guys are doing there. But from my side, keep the fire burning. Don't lose hope. We are all winners as long as we become a part of it. And if we're part of this country that we love, we can only make it better. We can only find where we're going to win, and we can fit in our pieces. As long as we don't feel as entitled as what we should do, but we want to win. Losing is off the table. So important. So important. Guys, thank you very much. Lynn, thanks so much for popping in. I will definitely be around as well. I'll take a look about that Saturday night slot, as you said. It might work out better then. There we go. Last term it was tennis, hockey. Fantastic. And I don't think you can make a child any more happier. And that's how you invest in a child. Not financially, physically. Well done. Well done. Hugs and kisses. Love you all. Be good. Take care. Look after yourselves. Remember, if you can't be good, at least be kind.